Hi Samar, welcome to your 2026 12-month forecast reading. So nice to be back with you again. Hope you've been doing well. I'm excited to do this for you. There is a lot to tell you for 2026 for the next 12 months. I'm going to start with some overall general stuff that may last for the whole year. You know, some like, for example, progressions can last for the whole year or the whole 12 months, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to break it down month to month. As you can see on my piece of paper here, look how much information, and you know, I've got ADHD, so it's all crammed in, but I understand it all in the codes and the, not codes, but the glyphs and everything with the astrology, how I write it all. Let's get into it. So I'm just going to actually close my window because I feel like it's a bit noisy outside. That's better. I can hear a motorbike just pulled up. All right, so for the next 12 months, starting from, you know, I've really started from February for you just because I didn't know exactly when in January I'd be able to get this to you, and it just makes sense to start for February. And some overall things before I get to February are, for the whole year, you do have some, in a positive sense, hang on, there's quite a few things. Oh, actually, I'll talk about the numerology first. So you will be in an 8 cycle from your birthday in April. So that's going to shift the energies more towards better money circumstances in general, and really powerful energy for manifesting. So this is from your birthday in April in 2026, and it lasts all the way till, again, your birthday in April 2027, a full 12 months. That's the numerological cycle that you're personally in. 8 is a very powerful, empowering number, and you'll find that if there's things that you want to bring into your life, especially around material things, money, or just manifesting, just in general, but it tends to be better for like business, money, and practical things. You'll find that it's easier to manifest those things this year, okay, in the next 12 months, but from your birthday in April. Okay, the other thing is all year until mid-December, you do need to be careful with men, okay, or unpredictable people, okay, because you do have in the progressions, progress Mars in Gemini opposite your natal moon in Sagittarius, and the progress Mars is from the 7th house of other people. Now it's interesting because the progress Mars is in the sign of Gemini opposing your moon. Gemini is about people that are duplicitous, people that have some other agenda going on, or they're being deceptive, or maybe they're players and they have very, you know, open ideas about relationships, and it's not necessarily aligned to what you want because of the opposition to your moon. Your moon is about security and what you feel you need, and it's opposing that. And Sagittarius is about your, you know, your moon in Sagittarius is about your beliefs, your perspective, what feels right for your life. And with this progress Mars all year until mid-December 2026 opposing your moon from the relationship part of the chart, it can indicate on and off relationships with men. It can indicate men being difficult, or a particular man in your life being difficult, especially communication wise. It's more on the verbal level and nervous system because it's in Gemini, okay? So do watch out for that. Trust your instinct with men. You will notice that because it finishes around mid-December, I'd say wait till the end of December 2026 for it to be cleared. 2027 is going to be a lot clearer for you around dealing with male people in your life. There's not going to be this weird energy around it. So that doesn't mean that you can't meet somebody this year. It doesn't mean that. It just means you do have to be careful in vetting people and making sure who you allow in your life is genuine. And you know, you could meet somebody that is just a really powerful communicator, or they're very intellectual, and maybe sometimes their views on things don't fully align to yours 100%, but you might still be interested in them. But I would say caution, because Mars opposite moon can be more of aggressive energy. When Mars opposes the moon, it does create attraction, absolutely, but it also creates like a push-pull dynamic, and it also creates some tension, you know, sometimes like different perspectives that clash. It's not always like the worst thing in the world, but it just can be where it's a bit tricky, okay? So you definitely need to listen to your intuition, and I know your intuition as a Scorpio rising is very good, so you can trust it when it comes to men this year. And if you feel like someone's not being honest with you, you're probably going to be right on, okay? So that's a big one because, as I say, it's happening now. It lasts all year till mid-December. Also, all year, your progressed Mercury is square with Saturn, so this is causing some tension for you around what you're, you know, how you think and feel about your personal security, you know, issues that you're having with family stuff. It could be as well. And how that sort of is clashing a little bit with like your personal goals and for your future and things of that nature. So you might feel like, so your progressed Mercury is from the 8th house of deep psychological issues, but also deep thoughts about family, you know, maybe something to do with mother as well. But this is active all year, so you may have a tendency to worry this year about fulfilling your dreams because it's square to Saturn in the 11th house. Fulfilling your dreams, fulfilling your goals. I think there's a lot of worry. So just, I would say it's on the level of mind more than anything. And yeah, you might have to go through some adjustments in your practical reality around your goals, with squaring Saturn in the 11th house. But I would say if you're finding yourself just worrying about things that aren't even happening, you know how the mind can sometimes take us down, you know, imaginings that are not really anything that's actually happening, but we can tend to just be worried, you know. Just watch out for that. And I would suggest meditation, prayer practice, which can help you overcome any stressful worries. But there may be things that you're working through around finances, around complicated paperwork, you know, maybe family stuff because it's in the sign of Cancer. It could be something to do with your mother. Or maybe you're helping her with something like her banking, or maybe you're helping her in some way that's a little bit complicated or not easy to organize, you know, and it's sort of an extra added thing on your plate, so to speak. So just be aware that if that's happening, that is part of the journey here. But you know, if you're struggling mentally at times with the workload or pressure on you because of things that you're trying to get done, take a time out, take a breather. Don't force yourself, you know, to overly push yourself mentally this year because of this progressed Mercury square Saturn. This is the type of energy where you need to take things slowly, any mental work or paperwork that you're doing. And look, it can be good for tackling difficult paperwork if you need to do that for whatever area of life. Just patience is required to do it in a very step-by-step way with breaks in between. Now, February 17th is the beginning of the Year of the Horse, which is a very strong fire energy for the world collectively. And at the same time, there's actually an eclipse in Aquarius. And for you, this is not so bad for you because it does make a sextile to your Mars. So that's a good thing, and that's going to help you to solar eclipses and new beginnings. Okay, so that's going to help you to and by the way, the solar eclipse lands in your 4th house of home life, so it is going to help you to make some kind of new beginning. And it is a sextile, which is more of a gentle energy, right? So that's something that is going to be some kind of strong new beginning, because it just, the fact that it's on landing at the same time of the Year of the Horse, you might feel propelled to move forward with something. Oh, I forgot to mention a couple of other things that are just general for the year ahead. So other general things for the year ahead that's really strong for you. You've got something lucky around your personal goals, wishes. Can be career related, but it can also just be like allies, like good friends or a certain person that's there to help you, or like a guardian angel energy. Like, you know, it's like when you really need help with something, you'll get the right person to like help you move something forward. And it's really powerful because your progressed midheaven in Libra is conjunct your natal Jupiter this year for the whole year. That's a very blessed one. So there's some kind of expansion in the career potentially, or in your dreams and goals. But because you've got these other things with Saturn going on, it's like it's there for you, but there is work and effort that needs to be applied to get the most out of it. Let's just say it's not just going to completely fall in your lap, though it may fall in your lap to a degree, but then it's like, oh, now I've got to step up and put the efforts in for this. Because at the same time, you're going to have, when you have this progressed midheaven conjunct Jupiter, which is an amazing one in Libra. Libra is about your associations and connections, by the way. So you could meet very key, powerful, helpful people this year, or make a new friend that's like really beneficial to your life. Or you could have some kind of advantage come your way. Say, for example, you need to find a new apartment. I mean, hopefully, you know, your life is stable and you don't, unless you want to find something like that, which could be, it's gonna be something beautiful, because with Libra, it's about beauty and aesthetic and feeling like you're in the good part of town. Like if there's something about a move, because the North Node this year will be in your 4th house of home life, and that can sometimes trigger a home move. It's not definite, but it can. And with this, I'm looking at all these things together. I would say if you do have to move this year or in the next 12 to 18 months, you're able to find something that aesthetically or location wise, or the building itself has something really nice to it, or really lovely people, or something that's just like, oh wow, it's really close to this amazing cafe that I love to go to, or that I feel really comfortable in this area because there's really just different nice people. It feels very safe and harmonious. You know, Libra's that harmony energy. I would say there's a wish fulfillment this year with the progressed midheaven in Libra conjunct your natal Jupiter. That's a very rare lucky alignment. So go for your goals this year, because you have the ability to attract something really great. Now it is Libra, which is more of a chill energy, so I think it's going to be more where it's not something that's forced, it's something that just works out for you when you need it to. So it's good that you've got that in your back pocket for the whole year. I think that's amazing. What a blessing. And that's extremely rare to have something like that. So once in a lifetime opportunity. It could also be, like I said, social things like meeting new people. Oh my gosh, I just saw a feather. Goosebumps. Oh my god, I'm looking out my window. I have to tell you, this is so spooky but cool. Just as I'm talking to you about this amazing alignment that you have this year, I am looking out my window, and you know, I've been sitting at this window for many years doing readings. I've never seen this. A feather just flew from, I don't know where it came from. It flew from down and it went up, and it was like a little white feather. And that's usually a sign of the angels. So you've got some protection as well around you this year. Love it. How good is that? Now, at the same time, but not the whole year, just a brief period, for the first few weeks of March, you do have transiting Saturn opposite your progressed midheaven. So that's when there's a bit of pressure on you to focus and get something done, and you might feel a bit stressed out with it, but it's only the first few weeks of March, okay? Saturn will still be in your 5th house all year, so that's also could be in some way some extra responsibility feeling around, you know, parenting. Maybe, you know, your daughter is being a bit demanding, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised because I've had that same transit Saturn in the 5th house, and it feels like my son, even though he's getting older, he's going to be 16 this year, he's been like at times quite like still, oh mom, I want your help with this, and it's like something he could do on his own. And it's like, you know, I tell him, look, you're going to be 16 this year, you need to do some stuff on your own, like you can't always rely on me, I'm quite busy, you know. And I try to encourage him as much as I can to be independent. And it's not that he's not independent, he is, but sometimes he gets clingy, and it's right when I have to do business stuff or I'm really busy, you know. And it's like, oh, can we get to it later? And then it's just hard. So I don't know if you're having some similar with your daughter. It can be that energy with Saturn in the 5th house where you have to kind of slowly, you know, pushing them towards a bit more independence. And look, if it's not that in particular for you, it could be where maybe your daughter is embarking on things that is getting her to be a bit more independent, because this is going to be the last year that Saturn's in your 5th house, and for me as well. And then it goes into next year, the 6th house of work and routine and health. So, you know, that will shift if you're having something with your daughter where you feel like you've still got to be very involved with certain things of her life, like schooling, or like worried about how she's going to do in school, and, you know, extra things that she's dealing with, you know, she's coming to you with. And that's fine, because, you know, obviously as a parent, we deal with stuff like that. But it might have felt a bit heavy on you because you're dealing with other things that are demanding for you, you know. And life is a lot more pressured these days, it feels like. So, yeah. But like I say, for 2027, that will ease up for you if that's been a thing. All right, so the South Node is going to be in your 10th house of career. So that's interesting because for the whole year, because that's like a releasing around old goals that you had, or things that you kind of are like, I really wanted that before, but I don't want that anymore. I want something different now. And it can also be where you're letting go of an old career potentially, or an old role that you were in. So maybe if you previously were in a particular role that was a certain level, you could be going to a new level this year, or you could be looking to simplify how much work you're taking on and work smarter and not harder, things like that. It could be where a boss leaves, like, you know, someone in authority leaves, or a letting go around anything to do with authority figures. The 10th house is a parental house, so maybe there's something to do with, it could factor in something to do with your mother there, but this is something that will be there for the next 18 months. It's not just this year. So, you know, there's something, I've got the same transit, like, because we're both Scorpio rising. So, you know, my dad's very elderly as well, and he's like 88, and it's difficult going through, you know, dealing with elderly parents. It's very emotional and very hard. So, you know, it could be something where you're slowly letting go in some way. And look, it doesn't mean necessarily that they're passing. It could just mean like there's something that you have to organize that falls on another person to help your parent out in some way, or something set up in their life that you know, it's not on you directly. It could be something like that. There's many ways it can manifest, but also you may feel that because you are dealing with the fourth house north node, which is pulling your energy back to home, you do have a lot of responsibilities with home, family stuff. And then the career is kind of like, you know, your work is there and you're doing it, but it's not something that you're pushing for in a really strong way, because the south node is where energy is kind of sort of not phasing out completely, but it's like it's tends to be a bit less in focus in an intense way. So what I would say is, while you may be ambitious on some level this year, it might flip back and forth between you feeling like, you know, I've got so many responsibilities with my home, with my child, with my mum. Fourth house is mum as well. You know, it's parental access, the 10th house, fourth house. So it is getting activated with you as a parent and being a child yourself of a parent. You know, we all have, you know, we're all in that situation, but it's activating those two areas of life in a destiny way. Okay. So what you'll tend to feel is you want to focus more on the immediate home environment, your emotions, your feeling of safety and security, what feels in your control in the emotional home family front. And then, you know, you'll feel like you have less energy in a way for your career or long-term goals at this time, because your emotions are driving you more in the personal fourth house north node realm. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. Let's get to the month to month. Okay, so that was just an overview. I don't usually spend that much time on the overview, but you've got a lot going on this year, Samar. All right, let's get into it. So February is where I've started here, though I did say for the rest of January and February I've written it down. Juno conjunct Pluto, wow, in your 12th house of your subconscious. So this month, the rest of January and in all of February, you could have your mind on like really heavy stuff around like what feels right for you on the level of future partner, future spouse. And, you know, maybe you're deconstructing these, some ideas in your subconscious, or you might be having a dream or some dreams about relationships, or, you know, these things are on your mind, but in a very deep sort of way. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's things happening in reality. It's more in the internal level that you're processing something around, you know, what it is that you need from a partner. You may be letting go of something from the past in a deep way, and like I said, there could be a regeneration going on a deeper psychological level. Pay attention to your dreams in January and February around anything to do with soulmates, relationships, things of that nature, because it could be quite profound. From mid-January to, I did include mid-January to February 5th, your progressed moon is on 29 degrees of Cancer. This can be emotional, okay? Progressed moon on the end of Cancer degree can feel like there's you're feeling a bit edgy or emotional when it comes to family things. It's in the 9th house for you, which is like your philosophy on life, your perspective on things, how your outlook, you know, your beliefs. And it is making a trine though to Uranus in your 1st house in Scorpio. So what this does is, and this is active from mid-Jan to February 5th, it does this, it can basically make you feel like there's a breakthrough on an emotional level. So pay attention to any emotional insights you get or any spiritual insights that you're getting mid-January through February. And it could go further into February. It might not just finish there on the 5th. It could be further into it as well. It could sort of drag a little bit. Not super long, but just like a week after that. Now, big change coming February 7th. Progressed moon changes signs for you. This only happens once every 2.5 years when the progressed moon changes signs. It goes from Cancer to Leo. So that could feel good for you, because in one way it'll feel good emotionally because it's trine your natal moon in Sag. So your natal moon Sag, your progressed moon's going 0 degrees of Leo. That's harmonious. So that's nice. It could feel like emotionally you feel at peace in some way. But it is making a square to your sun in Taurus. So maybe you are feeling some challenges between your beliefs and your work and daily routine, or what it is that you're thinking in your mind versus what you're doing day to day. You know, so just be aware if you're feeling an inner conflict. That could be normal with this. But for the next 2.5 years, you'll have progressed moon in Leo, which is very creative energy. It's romantic. It's wanting to enjoy your life more. Can be a bit indulgent. You could be craving the finer things in life in some way. Maybe you're going for things that are like a bit more expensive, because if you know, you might be able to, you might think, you know what, fuck it, I can afford it. I'm gonna spend money on this and like enjoy myself, you know, life is short type feeling, you know, it can be that. It's also very protective. The moon in Leo is very protective of children, like your own child, but also children in general. You may feel like, you know, expressing yourself more. It's a very expressive type of energy. So this can be where you become more verbally bold and you don't hold things back as much. And you're noticing it about yourself. You're like, wow, I'm really speaking my truth, you know, and you already like that because you got a Sag moon. But when you combine that with a progressed moon going to a Leo, it's like having a Leo moon for the next 2.5 years, right? And you just blend that with your natal moon. It's like very outspoken, very funny, very creative, very, you know, no holds barred. Like, I'm expressing my truth and I don't care what you think. And it's on that other level with Leo. It's very strong, very bold, very courageous energy. So, you know, the power of your will comes to the fore with these type of energies. Also, it's in the spiritual part of your chart. So, you know, you could be feeling very buoyant about certain things. You could feel it was some kind of interesting shift in your faith in a positive way. You could feel more protected. You could feel like you're tapped into your inner child in a really lovely way. Like, yeah, just feeling your cup feeling full from within. So that's a nice one for you, I think. Anything you have to watch out for with the progressed moon in Leo is just overindulgence, like spending too much money on material things or things that you like that are too expensive. You know, you're like, oh, I just want to spend more on that because I feel like I need the indulgence, or glamorous things, or like, you know, expensive jewelry, you know, flashy things. Like, even if you're not that way inclined, you could be surprised by having the progressed moon in Leo, how you just suddenly are interested in something more blingy, or, and you're like, you know, it could be very beautiful and it's not going to be tacky or anything like that. It's going to be stylish and classy because Leo is like that. So, you know, and it might not be every day that you feel this, but it might be on the occasion. You're like, you know what, I'm going to spend a bit money on that, a bit more money on that. I want to have this feeling of luxury and enjoyment, you know. But also it can be creative. Like I said, you could be more interested in things like watching TV shows that are like about people singing or people expressing themselves, like people's artistry or creative things. You know, you could be more interested in that kind of world, or going to see live shows and things like that, because Leo is that performance energy. You could find yourself drawn to that world in some way, or, you know, maybe your daughter's doing something creative and you really feel excited for her about it. It can all be that type of thing too. All right, so 15th to the, I mentioned the eclipse, that's on February 17th. 15th to the 22nd, Saturn trine Moon. So that's from your 5th house of children and romance and creative expression to your 1st house. So this is feeling very stable, but it's also there with the trine, even with Saturn, it can feel like a bit of hard work. So maybe there's something that you're helping your daughter with, or something that you have to focus, you know, quite strongly to get it done, but it will be worthwhile for you. When I said about that tension between your progressed moon in Leo and your sun, that lasts from February through March, okay? So that way where you could feel, that could be when you feel conflicted. March 15th to 21st, you have Ceres conjunct Mars and Sun in the 6th house. So you may feel either you want to cut something out. It could be nutrition-wise, that you're changing something with your diet or health. Ceres can be like the like a sickle, like a scythe or something that cuts things out, especially with Mars involved, Mars in Aries. And it could be work related, it could be health, it could be anything, but it's also a nurturing energy. So whatever it is that you're cutting out, you're looking at doing that because it's going to make things more effective for you. The 17th to the 28th, transiting Lilith conjuncts your progressed ascendant in the 2nd house of your values and financials, your earned money. You're feeling fired up about something from the 17th to the 28th of March, and that could be around your values, your personal beliefs, like your personal sense of what's important to you, physical health, money you earn, and personal belongings. So you're feeling very, very fired up, very protective. If anyone sort of crosses your path in a negative way, they will probably experience your wrath, because when the transiting Lilith aligns with progressed ascendant, we are feeling fired up, we're feeling feisty and it's in Sagittarius, which is very outspoken. So be careful of flare-ups with others, because you are feeling so feisty. I don't think it's going to come out easily. I think it's going to be more if someone is giving you problems in any way, or if there's some, say, because the 2nd house is earned money, say if there's some issue with your pay and they haven't, you know, they're stuffing it up or something, you're going to be pissed off, you know, and you're going to want to express that. Fair enough, you know. It could be something like that, or it could be something about your personal belongings or just your values. It could be different to someone that you're dealing with. 13th to 31st of March, Saturn opposite natal Saturn from the 5th house to the 11th house. So there's some tension between something that, it could be something to do with, you know, 5th house is parenting and children. It could be something to do with that that's causing some tension or stress for you. Or it could be, this is not a good time to meet new people, by the way. Saturn opposite Saturn, definitely not from the 13th to the 31st of March or around then, because with Saturn opposite Saturn from the 5th, which is romantic, part of the chart too, and the 11th house, which is public, dealing with people, online, dating, it's just not a good energy for that. It's potentially quite problematic for you. It can be a hard-working time. It can be a time when you're just feeling the weight of responsibility or pressure on you in some way. You know, it could be something to do with your daughter as well. She might be experiencing something also that is maybe a bit stressful for you. But like I say, it only lasts from the 13th to the 31st of March. So it's really a short period. April, all of April, you have Pluto on your south node in the 3rd house. So you're letting go of either a friendship connection or a communication with someone. Maybe you stop talking to someone, or something with a neighbor. A neighbor could move out from your area and you're happy about it. Someone could leave and maybe you're not happy about it. You know, it could be either or. It could be some kind of change in your local area. Something's ending. Something's being released here. And, you know, if it's not all those things, it could be just something to do with your mindset or your views on something. 3rd house is, you know, our thinking, our communications, and stuff to do with like local community, neighbors, other relatives like cousins and things like that. There could be some kind of letting go energy. It might feel a bit intense or a bit heavy, but it is meant to be let go of whatever that is. And it's a mind shift for you in some way as well. See, I'm going for time because it feels like I've been going for a while. Okay, 26 minutes in. So the next thing you've got from the 6th of April to the 23rd of May, you have to be a bit cautious with this one, Samar, because it's when Chiron aligns, conjuncts your your Mars in the 6th house. So look, when I say be careful, it's not a time to do anything really extreme, though there can be a healing opportunity through it, but caution is warranted, is recommended between the 6th of April to the 23rd of May. Chiron on Mars, I've seen that as being problematic for people that are having some really intense emotions come up. 6th house for you could be work related, could be health, could be something that's happening that you're just like really upset about, and it could be just something you're encountering in your work situation or in your daily life in some way. But what I'd recommend for it is to breathe and to meditate, because anything where you have a strong reaction could really add a negative fuel to a fire that becomes out of control. I've seen this with people when they've had Chiron Mars. You know, be careful with driving, don't rush around. 6th of April to 23rd of May, or either side of those dates, even just a little bit either side of those dates. Be careful. It's a cautious energy that's needed, because you will feel the opposite of being cautious. You will want to react, you will want to go fast, you will want to speed up, and it's the year of the horse, so we really have to actually slow down, because this is too powerful, this energy. It's already a fast energy, and if we're going fast, problems and accidents can happen. Definitely with driving, be careful when you're especially on the way to work or running errands or anything that's routine for you. Be cautious and go slow. I can't emphasize that enough. Yeah, because I know what this energy is for people. I've seen it before. I know someone that had this transit, the same sign, and they had a car accident. It wasn't actually their fault. Someone rammed into the back of their vehicle, but, you know, it could have been prevented potentially. Don't know, but someone else I know that had a very strong emotional reaction and was very upset about something and wanted to confront someone, and it wasn't lucky they knew the astrology, because they calmed themselves down. And yeah, it's like it could have been really bad. Someone else I know had this, and they gave into their aggression and anger, and something really negative happened that spiraled very badly, and then ended up having to go to court. So I'm not saying any of those things will necessarily happen to you, but I'm giving you examples of what I know has happened to people with the exact transit in the exact same sign. So I'm going to start a new recording and I edit them all together at the end, as you know, and continue on. Okay, so the next thing is from the 8th to the 28th of April with North Node trine your ascendant. So this is a good time for you where things can flow very smoothly. Whenever the North Node trines anything in your chart, it's like there's progress in your life in some way. So that particular time, 8th to the 28th of April, you'll see some kind of progress, some kind of smooth way opening, and it can feel very positive. It can feel like, okay, things are moving, you know, it's a good energy. Oh, I missed one, sorry. You have from the 12th to the 21st of April, transiting Saturn conjunct the part of fortune in the 5th house. So that's lucky for parenting, anything to do with your daughter, anything that she's doing, there's luck around it. Also lucky for you, it's some kind of positive karma coming back to you. So the Saturn with the part of fortune is karma, good karma that you've earned and that you're getting a benefit from something. And it could be lucky, like it could be a financial thing, because the 5th house is the house to do with gambling, and I never encourage gambling to anyone, but it can be a bit lucky. But I would say be cautious with this energy, because it's Saturn, it's like, it's not Jupiter. If it was Jupiter, it would just fall into your lap. With Saturn, it's like something that you've already worked on, that you already put some efforts in, maybe in this life or a past life, and it's coming back to you in a good way. So it could also be something to do with your daughter, like maturing in some way and showing you that she's like going to the next level in her life, and there's a real positive energy around this for you, which is great. Then 27th of April to the 22nd of May, Uranus conjunct Mars in your 7th house of relationships in Gemini. Progress Mars, sorry, not natal Mars, progress Mars. So this is very interesting, because what you can find is someone contacts you out of the blue, a male person, or there could be some sudden news that comes out of the blue from another person. Usually Mars is male or masculine energy. However, sometimes it can also just be general. During this time from 27th of April to 22nd of May, some unexpected news comes through. And Uranus is not so much negative. It's in Gemini especially. It's more unexpected. And, you know, just something different's happening and you're just like rolling with it, you know. And it can be that there's something new happening in your life. Maybe you meet someone unexpectedly, or you hear from someone from the past unexpectedly. Or there's new developments in the life of a male person that you know of. Maybe they've got changes in their life and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that. You know, it's something unexpected with Uranus. Uranus always brings that type of energy of change. So see what that is. But if you did meet someone new around this time, which is possible, just be cautious, because it may be an on and off type of energy with Uranus conjunct progress Mars in Gemini, or someone that you feel drawn to, but they may be make your nervous system feel a bit on edge, or they make your heart race a bit too much and you're like, oh, I just don't feel calm around this person. I like them, but there's something about them that puts me on edge or makes me feel like I can't eat or I can't sleep, and it just feels a little bit too edgy. So just be aware of that. Uranus with Mars is always like something unpredictable, like I said. 14th to the 26th of May, Mars is going through your 5th house, and sorry, your 6th house, not your 5th house. So from the 14th to the 26th of May, it's a very busy time for work, routine, health. You may be really focused on your health, but do watch out for colds and flus when Mars goes through the 6th house, because you can tend to push yourself too much to get a lot done, because you're feeling quite active, you're feeling very busy, you're more inclined to like push yourself with exercise routines, health regimes, but just don't overdo it, because it can be where you're trying to be too strict or you're trying to push yourself too much, and it can sometimes end up, you know, running you down a bit, or you feel like, oh no, I should have eaten, you know, more greens and now I'm feeling a bit run down, or, you know, something like that can happen. But it is a good time to cut out bad habits and refocus with work and schedules, reorganize routines, because you've got a lot of energy for it. 20th to 30th of May, Jupiter with Ceres in the 9th house. Wow, this is kind of an intense energy. Ceres, again, is like the cutting out of something, but it's also a nurturing energy. It's like the energy of Demeter, Persephone's mother. That's what Ceres is. And look, I don't look at many asteroids, you know, I only look at Juno and Ceres, because I found them to be both quite influential in the chart. And because Ceres is like it's one of the bigger asteroids, and well, technically they say it's a dwarf planet, but it's one of the bigger asteroids. I notice it does have an influence. So what I would say from the 20th to the 30th of May is be aware that you may be changing something around your perspective, or your perspective is shifting in some really interesting way. Jupiter tends to expand things and make us feel very Jupiter in Cancer, it's like very connected to patriotism, wrong word, patriotism, you know, how you feel about your country and what's going on in your country, because the 9th house can be to do with the bigger picture of what's going on around you. It can also be your spiritual beliefs, like I said. So maybe some kind of change going on for you then. Jupiter is all about expansion though, so maybe you decide to take a risk around something to do with your beliefs or to do with relocation ideas. I don't know, it could be anything of the kind. Maybe it's just something happening on the mental level. It might not even be anything that's necessarily manifesting in the physical, because the 9th house is sort of like an elevated house, being it's like the Jupiter. It's more about our beliefs and how we feel on a mental level. So, you know, that's an interesting one. It could manifest in a variety of ways. Maybe you're deciding to learn something new that's different to what you've learned about astrology before. Maybe you're looking into some kind of other philosophy as well, and that's kind of branching out for you. It could be something like that too. 26th to the 29th of May, it's only a short period. You do have Mars and Venus conjunct and also on your descendant point. So that's in Taurus, that's pretty significant. It seems like, I don't, for these transits, I don't usually look at Mars because it's such a short transit, but with Mars and Venus together on your descendant point, I'd say that's quite significant. There could be some developments around another person, someone giving you attention, or maybe you feel like, you know, you're getting some kind of attention from someone in a like chemistry kind of way, you know, or maybe you meet someone then. That's very possible. It is in the sign of Taurus, which tends to be more something that has the potential to be very sensual and physical, but you know, it could just be someone being very generous with you and saying, here, you know, I'm giving these away for free, take it, because Taurus energy is like material things and abundance, and you know, someone giving you something. So someone could give you something that you really appreciate around the 26th to the 29th of May. It's only a few days there, so you'd have to see what happens. Like I said, it could be flirting with someone where you feel a genuine chemistry just out of the blue, or someone helping you or giving you something that's really generous, I would say. But you could be feeling like you're getting the support from someone, or you're giving and receiving support from someone in a very mutual way. 31st of May to June 18th, Uranus trine Jupiter. That's nice. So yeah, wow, that's a really good transit. So that could be helping you feel that there's some kind of new developments in your life to do with wish fulfillment and something exciting potentially. So go with the flow with that. That's a good energy for you. This can be where I love this transit, by the way, Uranus trine Jupiter. I feel like it's like a breakthrough type energy, and it's also like a bit exciting, and like you're in the flow and you feel like you're just going from flow to flow and you're like, whoa, I feel good, you know. It's that kind of energy. So 31st of May to June 18th, that's active for you. And it could be something with friends, it's really positive, or relationship energy as well. It is more of a better time if you do want to meet anyone new or have social things happen. It is very positive for that. Yeah, so that's very well aspected for that. Okay, let's go to June. June 1st, you have a shift that's going to last for the next 12 months from June 1st. Okay, so from June 2026 to June 2027. The progressed Venus moves to 1 degree of Cancer. And it's not only that, but it's actually sextiling your sun in the 6th house. So from the 8th house to the 6th house, this is good for your finances, for your work situation. You'll tend to find that relationships with work colleagues will improve if there's any issues from June. There's going to be more understanding, more harmony, more cooperation, that kind of vibe. If there's been any issues with that, it's going to improve. If someone, you know, you're working with someone prior to June 1st that you don't really like, it's going to get better. So it's a really quite a nice energy. Now it's a sextile, so it's more gentle, but you will feel it. It's not like an overpowering thing, but it's like, oh, that's good. This is working out how I need it to. I'm really appreciating how that person's cooperating with me, and this is just flowing nicely. So also 6th house is health, so you may be feeling better in your health. It is a good time for health in general. It doesn't mean that you don't get sick or like you don't get a flu or something, but just in general, you will bounce back better in health matters if there are any issues that come up. So you will feel overall good physically, I think, as a general thing from June 2026 to June 2027. 20th of June all the way to September 19th, Chiron enters Taurus. This is important for you, Samar, because Chiron will go to 0 degrees of Taurus and your sun is 1 degree of Taurus in your 6th house of work. Now that said, you will feel it from 20th of June to the 19th of September, but it's not exact until 2027. So May 1st, 2027 is when it goes exact for you. That's when you're going to see some kind of changes in your life. Chiron's all about healing. So it looks like you're going to be healing something on a deeper level around health matters. Maybe, you know, Chiron at first could be like, I'm sick of this, I need to change this, and I need to do what it takes, whatever it is. Just watch out for anything too extreme, but it can be something where you feel like it's time to make a big change, health or work related, because 6th house, okay? It's probably not the best time to get a pet. I don't know if that's even on your radar at all, but I'll just mention that because 6th house is to do with that as well, because there could be something traumatic around it. So say if you get a cat and it gets out and then, you know, something happens to it, like it could be quite traumatic. So just yeah, be mindful of that. If you do get a pet, just make sure it's a really good fit for your circumstances, and you probably need to be quite controlled with it because, yeah, you make sure the personality fit as well before you get it. Could be a pet with health problems as well, potentially. But for you personally, I don't see it so much like that. I do think that there could be issues with energy. Like 20th of June when it starts and 19th of September, you might feel sometimes like your energy feels not as strong, or you're feeling not as physically strong. Sometimes if we change our diet, that can happen. Like I noticed when I started doing OMAD, like 1 meal per day, couple of times a week, I was trying, I'm always trying to lose weight. It's the story of my life. So frustrating. But I was feeling weak with it, and I couldn't do the 1 meal a day fasting because it was just making me feel so weak and I had no energy, and I thought maybe I'll adjust after a while. I never did. So then I went back to the diet that I'm on now, which is like low carb, 3 times a week, 2 days we can eat kind of not anything you want, but like a bit more carbs and stuff, and then 1 day of OMAD. And I don't do proper OMAD. I do breakfast and lunch, and I skip dinner. And I am feeling a lot better, and I'm feeling a bit lighter. I've lost about 2 kilos, which isn't much since October I've been doing it. But the reason I'm saying all that, which is quite personal, is because it can be something like this for you, where you're like, I need to make a big change to my health or my work. And it might feel a little bit like it's making you feel kind of way, like where you don't feel as strong for some reason. So just be aware of that. But there can be a healing with it as well, by the way, because Chiron at first it feels a bit difficult, but then there's a healing. So if there's something that you change with your health, at first it might be difficult, but then you can get into the healing phase with it, which is good. I feel like this is getting triggered from you, of something that you want to change. I feel it's more that. Then you've got from the 26th to the 30th of June, so only a few days, Jupiter square Uranus. So that can be unexpected things, but I think it's more in the positive because it's Jupiter squaring Uranus. So from the career area to your first house. So there could be some changes around work that are positive, that free you up in some way to have a bit less stress on you. If there's anything that you want to ask for at work, like, is there any way I can have this situation? Or, it might be something that you can actually get, because Jupiter square Uranus, it's like, yeah, we can make that happen. There's some kind of adjustment with it, but they can do it. That's the 26th to the 30th. Something can work out. Okay, so 1st to the 8th, we're talking about July now. 1st to the 8th, this is a lovely transit, Jupiter trine Moon. Very lucky for career, but there is effort that you do need to put towards it because it's a trine. However, once you put the efforts forward, something can really come through for you in that area of your career. So also you can feel a bit more chill and a bit more at peace in yourself emotionally from the 1st to the 8th of July. Generally, it's just a lucky flow of energy, but not like overpowering, but it's just some nice things happening. And you feel like blessings are coming your way, which is nice. From the 1st to the 27th of July, the North Node is square your moon. So you may feel a little bit like certain long-term goals that you want, maybe you're feeling like they're a little bit blocked at that time, but it's just patience required with that transit. It can be something around parental, family stuff, because it's the 4th house and 1st house, or home stuff, your emotions, maybe something to do with your mum. But it's maybe something that with the North Node square moon, it's like we want to do something, but we feel a bit blocked with it. So that's how it manifests, and we have to be patient. 26th of July to 6th of August. This is very lucky, Jupiter with the North Node. So Jupiter conjunct North Node in the 10th house of career. Big opportunity time when that happens. With your goals, with the career, with something that you want to achieve, it is doable, okay? And you can make it happen. You can absolutely manifest something really great at this time. So remember that, 27th of July, I'll write that down, 27th of July to 6th of August. Very lucky for you, breakthrough time regarding career goals, achievements. Sometimes it can be like, if there's something that out in the world that you want, because the 10th house is that type of energy, you can achieve it then. It's like the luck just aligns. So look out for that. It's a rare, really good one. Okay, moving on. August. Solar eclipse, 20 degrees of Leo, conjunct your midheaven at 15 degrees of Leo. You've got a new start at this time in the career area. It's very significant because it's so close to your midheaven degree. Some new direction can open up, the seeds of a new beginning. And remember, when the solar eclipses occur, they do trigger something, but that's on the 12th of August. But you'll see manifestations happening from like the next 3 to 6 months around whatever's happening at the time of the eclipse. So, pay attention to around the 12th of August, what's going on for you in the career area. But not just the career, you're also your personal goals and where you're going in your life. Creative things that you want to do, passions that you have, your ambitions, your goals. It is lucky, so that's good. Now, 26th of August is a lunar eclipse. With lunar eclipse is more emotional. However, it does trine your ascendant, which shows that there's a positive aspect to this from the 4th house of home, family. 4th house is the maternal, motherly energy. It trines your ascendant, which is a good thing. However, it does square your moon. So that, because it's in Pisces, this lunar eclipse, square your moon in Sag. So this could be challenging emotionally for you in some way, but you are moving forward with something that's important and significant around home or family or mother or mothering. And it's trine your ascendant, which shows you've got the momentum here that you need to make something happen. Emotionally, you may feel a bit challenged by it, but physically you'll be able to do it. That's August 26th. And again, remember, the eclipses have influence over the next 3 to 6 months in some way, with whatever's happening in that particular area. So whatever that issue is then. And remember, if you're feeling emotional, that is normal. And it is trine your ascendant in a water sign. So if you're feeling emotional, let yourself cry. It's really healing for you at this time. You may or may not feel emotional. I'm just saying in case you do, because of water energy. September, all month, Juno conjunct Pluto again in the 12th house. So you did have that at the beginning of the year. You may be on a psychic level connected to a future spouse or having a dream about something like that, or just reevaluating things on a deeper level about what you want out of love again. 7th to the 16th of September, Jupiter conjunction midheaven. Yes, what a great transit. I also will have this in 2026, which I'm really looking forward to at a different time to you, because our midheaven degree is slightly different. I'll have mine before yours, but this is amazing. It's something really to look forward to. It's a breakthrough. It's an achievement. It's a goal reached. It's excitement and abundance. So that's happening for you the 7th to the 16th of September. You could feel it slightly before and slightly after as well. So anything you want to manifest then, put your power and your energy towards it, absolutely can happen. So that's really good. From September 13th onwards, Jupiter then enters your 10th house in the sign of Leo. This is a time from September 13th for the next 12 months of growth in the career area and your goals. With Jupiter going through that part of the chart, it's saying it's time to grow now in the career and your personal goals and achievements, the things that you want to do in life, in the practical world, money-wise, success, career-wise. It's time to make stuff happen. Don't hold back on the things that you want. Does it mean that you accept every single opportunity? Not necessarily. You know, Leo likes the best of the best. So, you know, accept what feels right for you and what feels like it's supporting who you are and what you need out of life. So this is very lucky for you. And there's going to be some kind of career expansion, focus on your personal goals and growth in your life. So it's quite exciting. And then October 3rd, we all have Venus retrograde happening in the sky, which affects us all differently. For you, it's going to go back in, it's in Scorpio for everybody. It's going to go back into your 12th house. Okay, so there's a reevaluation of relationships and finances for you from October 3rd and then until it goes direct on November 14th. So expect some clarity, not during the retrograde, but after the retrograde from November 14th onwards. You may feel a lot better after November 14th, because once it's going retrograde from October 3rd onwards to the 14th, you can feel like you're not sure what you feel or what you want out of certain things, and you're processing things very heavily internally, and you may even have dreams or realizations that are helping you to understand what's going on for you. Venus in Scorpio is very much about financial empowerment, your finances, and very much about intimacy and relationships and what you need. So it looks like, you know, for you in the 12th house, it's like processing even past life stuff potentially, past life blocks around love, you know, patterns you might be thinking about, you know, what has blocked you in the past, or what patterns, you know, things like that could be coming to mind. It's a bit deep in the 12th house, that's for sure. But the clarity will come after November 14th, or the sense of relief or release will come where you can just let it go. Okay. October 30th to November 7th, Jupiter trine Neptune from the 10th house to the 2nd house. This is lucky for money, and it can be something that really just like flows nicely, and maybe if you're trying to sell something, it will sell easily, or you'll get more money for it, or, you know, money will come to you in an unexpected way. You could be feeling quite spiritually aligned to something that you're doing in the world. You could feel like there's synchronicity helping you with an achievement or a goal. So that's pretty cool. That's October 30th to November 7th. I'm just going to sip my water. November 1 to 30th, you have the Chiron on your Mars again. That's the one I said you have to be cautious with this energy. Like, don't race around. Could be issues with male people, could be issues with aggression or your own aggression or other people's aggression. You had it in April, so whatever came up for April, you are revisiting it again, but usually by the time it's on the last one, it's not as intense. So just know it will be a bit less intense for you, more manageable in some way. But it's good to note that date down anyway. 7th to the 18th, Jupiter trine Mercury, which is lucky, so that's a beneficial optimism on the mind level, and it's in the area of work and career, so there's some kind of good news potentially then, or some, if you want to put in for leave, you get the news between the 7th and the 18th that your leave was approved, something like that. It can be like a mental break type energy in a good way, like taking a break from things, having a holiday, or just slowing down, or not feeling as pressured at work, which is good. Now, from November, your progressed midheaven does start to orb closer to your natal Saturn in your 11th house. So this can feel like some kind of stress or extra authority coming into your life, like even from yourself. Maybe you're approaching a new position at work that gives you more authority, or you're feeling like you want to do that, and it's orbing in slowly, so it will be more strong for you in 2027. This basically brings hard work, but also the rewards with the hard work. And you have Saturn in Libra, which is exalted. So even though a lot of your life lessons do come through relationships, you have the opportunity as you get experience and wisdom to really get more aligned to the relationships that are right for you as you get older. And it is there for you to blossom into relationships as you get older. And anything to do with career or hard work, it will absolutely pay off in the next 12 months. And it's going to be, because it's Libra, around your relationship connections with people, your work colleagues, your bosses, people seeing you in a favorable light, people seeing you as someone who can handle things in a powerful way, and who's fair and balanced as well. So those things are all important. November 14th, oh, you already said that, Venus goes direct. I forgot to mention November 14th is extra clarity around that Venus direct. Reason why, because Mercury goes direct on the same day. And it's in your first house then, so you'll have a lot more clarity. I've already said that, but anyway, I just want to re-emphasize it. What else? And then Mercury will trine your ascendant, so yeah, that's going to be really good for you from November 14th onwards. Moving on, so the 2nd of December to the 21st, you get the Saturn on your part of fortune again in the 5th house. So you had that earlier in the year, and that's quite positive, where I said you've got some positive karma coming your way, something lucky, but it's come out of like the work that you've done. Like I said, whether it's past life work or this life work, it can also be something to do with your daughter, some luck or positive energy around a child and what they're doing in their life. So I say that's a good thing for you. December 10th, Sarah's retrograde back into your 9th house. That could indicate some kind of old views changing or shifting. 14th to the 15th, you do have Venus conjunct the ascendant. I don't usually look at Venus, but when it's over the ascendant, it does make a difference, because what you'll notice is around the 14th, 15th of December onwards, you start to feel really good physically. So maybe prior to that, especially with the Venus retrograde, which was happening from October 3rd to November 14th, that time could have felt like you didn't feel so good, because you were like processing a lot internally, and you just weren't feeling as positive in your physical self for whatever reason. I find that when Venus is retrograde and in my 12th house, I just feel heavy. Like I feel mentally and emotionally heavy, and I just don't feel like socializing. But once it comes out into the first house, you feel a lot better. So that happens for you. You'll feel better in one way from November 14th, but you'll feel better on a whole other level from the 14th to 15th of December. More in a physical way, you'll feel like you're getting your mojo back. 9th to the 17th of December, Jupiter trine Mars. That's nice. From the 11th house of groups and friends and social connections, to Mars in the 6th house of work, and routine and health. If there's anything that you need to present with work from the 9th to the 17th of December, it's going to go down really well. Like there's a lot of luck around that, and positive vibes and confidence for you. You'll be feeling quite confident then. But it's not just that, it's like lucky as well. So really good vibes. Christmas Day, you have Venus square your midheaven. So that's kind of nice for Christmas, but it is an indulgence energy. It's like, I'm just going to let myself enjoy myself. It's that kind of energy. January 2027, the last month we're doing here. From January 8th Chiron goes direct at 26 degrees of Aries, which is the last pass of it over your Mars. So that's the last time in January 2027 that you have to deal with the Chiron Mars that I said you had. Where did you have that? You had that in November, and I think it was previous in April off the top of my head, but you had it a couple of times, and I said that's the one you have to be cautious with. So January 2027 is the last one, the last pass, and then you're done with that one, okay? And yeah, so that's good news. January 8th, last pass. It lasts a couple of weeks or a week or so. Just be cautious then. And 12th to the 31st, you do have, again, Uranus conjunct progress Mars again in the 7th house of relationships. So there's something, again, coming up with unexpected energy around men, unexpected nervousness around male energy, or unexpected communications, unexpected news. So that could be to do with anyone, but you might be feeling on edge around a certain connection with somebody. Listen to your intuition. Look, Uranus, is, I always say, especially in Gemini, it's not necessarily bad, but it is a little bit, charges your energy up and makes you feel a little bit hyped up or on edge or a bit too ungrounded. So just be careful, like trusting men around the 12th to the 31st in the sense of anything relationship wise, but it could just be like news coming out of the blue that you just like, oh, I didn't expect to hear from that person about that, you know, I wasn't expecting that kind of thing. And then I think that's, hang on one second. Oh, okay, so sorry, just to clarify, with that Chiron on your Mars, you do have that January and February 2027, okay, up to, it looks like more the end of February. Sorry, I wrote that down, I forgot to mention it. So that's the last pass of Chiron Mars where you have to be a bit cautious with your energy and not rush around, you know, not, you know, let yourself get carried away with any anger coming up. Think things through before reacting, that kind of energy, okay? You've got a lot of transits. That was a lot, Samar. I will be back, I think tomorrow I'm going to do your cards for you, or maybe later this afternoon. It depends, see how I go. It's a lot of energy, writing all that down and verbalizing that out. So I won't force myself to do it until my energy is recharged a bit, because I want to give you like a proper, obviously, reading, and I don't like to rush any of my readings. I like to do everything properly. So I'll be back either this afternoon or tomorrow with your cards and questions for the year ahead. I'll talk to you back soon. Hey Samar, it's actually the next day. I needed to refresh myself and have a good sleep after, you know, a long day yesterday with readings, and I thought, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow morning, and here I am doing the cards part of the reading for you. So also I want to mention, you did ask me to focus on specific areas, so I think, you know, the astrology is the astrology and it just shows what it shows. So for you saying to me in the message with your order, you know, you want to focus on your mum, whether you'd meet someone, love, relationships and career, we'll see if that comes up, you know, in this part of the reading for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit extra for you than what I normally do, because you are a repeat customer of mine. Sometimes, you know, with repeat clients, I will give them a, you know, especially on the big readings like this, the end of the year, I'll give them a bit of extra info. So what I usually do for the first question, and you know, you've ordered this before, so you know it's the same layout as previously. I do look at 2 themes for the year ahead for the next 12 months, but I'm going to also do what doorway is opening for you with my doorway oracle deck here, and also I'm going to get a timing card for you about anything around timing related, you know, related to any key areas. So first we want to see what themes come up in the cards for you, Samar, for the next 12 months. You know, what's in focus is oh, something's jumping. Oh wow, Aquarius, awakening. That's powerful. It says your deeper resolve rises. 35, eclipse in Aquarius. Okay, that's very spooky, because remember I said to you, I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the reading, February 17th is when the year of the horse begins, and it's also an eclipse, a solar eclipse in Aquarius. I mentioned that to you, and also there's something else. Let me see what you've got around that time, how it affects you. Oh yeah, it makes a sextile aspect to your Mars. Okay, so your Mars in your 6th house. So that's good for you, that eclipse. So this is maybe referencing possibly the month of February. Let me just check also with your chart. I want to see where you have Aquarius located. Oh, that's your 4th house. Your 3rd and 4th house. So 3rd house for you, in your chart you have Aquarius in the 3rd and 4th house. 3rd house is communications, So some kind of awakening around your communications with others, deeper communications, deeper insights, psychological and sort of psychic insight, I want to say. And then the fourth house, which is home and family, your background. Fourth house can be the house of mother, like I've said before, and mothering. It's also a deep, psychological house in an emotional sense, your deeper roots, your ancestry, your family background. So the fact that this has come up, I want to say this is just very significant because it's such a bold sort of energy. It's like your path is opening up to something completely new in some way this year. So let's have a look at, I'm going to use Astro Dice for a bit more info. What area of life is opening up for you? And it'll be interesting to see if third house or fourth house or 3 or 4 comes up. But whatever comes up, we'll see what it means for you. What's this awakening energy for Samar in the next 12 months? Oh, Aquarius, look at that. You can't make it up. That's so spooky. And you have the 11th house. You have 11, which is really quite eerie because it's about mastery, self-mastery. Oh, by the way, that says 35, which is 8. Sorry, 5. Yeah, 8. Oh my God, I can't even think. Because I'm in the zone of channeling and then logical things go out the window. Neptune, wow. So yeah, it's a spiritual awakening for you. And 11th house is friends, contacts, groups, meeting new people, and also luck. The 11th house is the house of gain. So it looks like through your spiritual awakening and through some kind of profound, Aquarius is unexpected, ruled by Uranus, unexpected change. Some profound change you're going to receive, and it's on a spiritual level as well. That's powerful. Okay, so they're not really giving a lot of details here, but I feel like, knowing that you have Aquarius in your 3rd and 4th house, that's the area of life also that's part of it. Let's see what else. Oh, this jumped out. Oh, wow. Eclipse in Leo. You have 2 eclipse cards. That's interesting because a lot of these cards are like full moon, new moon, and the eclipse cards are not as common. So eclipses are destined turning points. It says, shine brightly like the star that you are. Eclipse in Leo, compassion, number 29, which is an 11 as well. Adds up to an 11. You had that here. Now, this is about your career because Leo is your career, your midheaven, okay? So there is some new energy here in the career. I'm going to roll the dice on this as well and see what else comes up for you. I might do 4 dice. What else is coming up for the career area this year for Samar? Gemini, Leo. God, that's twice that happened. Remember the other card, Aquarius, and we've got the Aquarius on the dice. Uranus, unexpected opportunity. First house, an opportunity to progress in your career. That may come a little bit unexpectedly, but I have to say, pay attention to when you have that transit that I already talked about, of the transiting Jupiter conjunct your midheaven, because that's going to be a very big opportunity time in your career this year, which is great. Gemini's communications, so news, communications, emails, phone calls, messages, hearing news. So, and the first house is going for it. It's Aries house. So going for growth in your career, absolutely this year. Like there's no question about it, because when you have Jupiter not only conjunct the midheaven, but then it goes into your 10th house, like I described when I was doing your transits. This is a time for opportunity, your growth in career. So it's amazing to me that that's come up. I love it. All right. So yes, your career is growing this year. This is not a stagnant time for you. This is a time of growth, prosperity, opportunity. So definitely take advantage of what's coming your way. Let's see what doorway is opening up for you. This one's flipped over. Learning, door of learning, education, knowledge, study, mastery, development. That's really cool. Okay, let's see if there's any other doors opening up for Samar in 2026 of anything else that Spirit wants you to know. I do feel there's a strong energy in here. I can feel it. It's this one. Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. Awakening again. Wow. Enlightenment, transformation, self-awareness, spiritual growth. How powerful is that? Second time that message has come up in the first part of the reading straight away. Amazing. Awakening and awakening. When we have double messages like this in readings, it's a super strong message. So I really feel it's a spiritual awakening. So something profound is taking place for you on the level of your mind. Again, 3rd house, 4th house, your deeper emotions, your family background. I saw this again on the bottom, compassion. That was also on here. So compassion, that's spooky as well. I wasn't going to pick another card, but it was just there staring at me. It says empathy, kindness, mercy, benevolence, humaneness. My heart chakra is getting is sort of reacting to this for you. So I feel like it could be emotional things as well. It could absolutely be something to do with your mum. It could be, okay? But it's not coming through to me super clear with that. So I don't want to say, obviously I don't say anything other than what I get. but I do feel the heartstrings getting stirred. So maybe you're going to go through some kind of emotional shift that is to do with very personal things to you. But whatever is happening for you in the next 12 months, what it's talking about is a deepening of your compassion. I feel like you're already a compassionate person, but I feel like it's going deeper for you. And this is actually a good thing. And it's awakening you to your spiritual gifts on another level. Okay, so like, you know, psychic dreams, psychic knowings, your abilities can open up this year because of this awakening. And what I'm also getting about all this, Samar, is that you're actually, your personal vibrational frequency is changing, and it's connected to compassion because your vibration will be going up another level. And when we're in frequencies such as love, forgiveness, compassion, we are able to transcend heavier, low vibrational things. And wow, this is just all getting channeled through me. It's really deep. So what I'm feeling here is, what they're trying to say is, no matter what's going on around you in the external world, whether it seems really negative or whatever it is, you are actually going to be protected through your vibrational frequency. There may be things going on around you in the world around you that if you see, you know, on the news, or you hear about something around in your area or in your country or in your, you know, in your location or whatever it is, right? And you're detaching from that in a good way. You're aligning your frequency to the vibration of compassion and love. And when I say love, I mean Aquarius love, like universal love, the vibration of love, not so much romantic love. Doesn't necessarily exclude that, but I'm just trying to explain it's more of a spiritual thing that's coming through. Very unexpected, very deep messages there. My goodness, that's powerful. Let's get you a timing card. This is extra. Again, this is not part of the reading, but I just wanted to do this for you. Any timing cards for Samar? Anything she needs to know about timing in her life in the next 12 months? Please, Spirit, show me the correct message. Divine timing is at play, and this one flipped as well. Oh, actually another one flipped. 3 flipped over. Look at that. February comes up again, because I did say there was something around the solar eclipse around the 17th of February. I feel like that's to do with that. New beginning energy. So we have 6 months from now as well. So what's that take us to? Say February, March, April, May, June, July. So some new beginning in July I get. She's pregnant, symbolizing new beginning. And also something about divine timing. So that, I feel like the divine timing card, this is to do with love. It's like, I kind of get this feeling of like, they sort of don't really want you to know a timing of that at the moment. They want you to just keep going with the flow, because there's other things going on for you this year. And like I said, you know, it doesn't mean that you won't meet someone this year, but the energy around love with Uranus conjunct your progress Mars in your relationship house, yes, you could meet someone with that energy, but the energy is very erratic. It's very sort of on and off, or it's hard to get stability with. It's not an ideal energy for you, for what you need in love. You know, what you're looking for is something more stable and reliable. As a Taurus, we always look for that, and we can adapt to different people if we really like them and different things, but at the end of the day, Taurus doesn't cope very well with unstable or erratic people, because it just stresses us out. We don't need that. So yeah, I do feel this one coming in, but it doesn't feel like there's anything like really stable yet this year. But don't get upset or worried about that, because it's all divine timing. It's not when our ego wants things, you know, it's when our soul is ready, and it's when we're meant to. And that person will come around, you know, and that person will meet us, or we'll meet them, you know, whatever it is. We don't have to worry or force it. All right, let's go to the next part of the reading. 1 second. Running out of space here. Okay, so I need to find the question for you. How am I going for time too? I just always check that. All right, so next question. Where are we? So what challenges will you overcome this year? Okay, so I'm going to use tarot cards for that. I might use the Unicorn Tarot. Actually, yeah, I'll use this deck. What challenges, please, will Samar overcome this year? Stagnation, feeling stuck. Wow, Temperance, healing, and 2 major arcana cards. That's powerful. So, okay, so there's something that could be going on, you know, whether it's in the background of your life, like as just a general feeling, like maybe it could be even to do with like meeting someone. I'm going to ask, what's this about? Well, can we please clarify the Hanged Man for Samar? What is this energy of stagnation? Yeah, waiting for somebody, waiting to meet the right person, feeling a little bit bored with things, needing some excitement in your life, hoping for something, yeah, some romance. There's a 4 of Cups is like, you know, traditionally it's that energy of not seeing what you have that's going for you, and not being sure about certain things, or maybe even meeting someone you're not sure of. It could be. But it's like saying here with the Hangman that, you know, balance and healing is coming. You will overcome this stuck period where you feel like you're not meeting anyone. You will overcome it. This is Sagittarius too. Could be later on in the year, around Sagittarius season, towards the end of the year. But also it's saying temperance is about having patience. You know, it's very hard for you with Mars in Aries sometimes to be patient, and with the moon in Sagittarius. But the benefit of the moon in Sagittarius that you have is you can be philosophical about things. You can say, you know what, it's not the right time. I obviously haven't met someone because it's not, my person isn't ready for me. You know, maybe there's things going on in their life that they're trying to, you know, finish up with, or a different phase of life that they're trying to close off before they meet you. And there's no point meeting someone before either of you are ready, because it just won't work out. It's better to trust in the divine order. This is what this is about. Trust the divine order. It's Sagittarius, the bigger picture. You will overcome any stagnation this year, or feelings of being stuck and not getting your wish fulfilled. So you will overcome that, which is good news. Just have patience is what they're saying. All right. Okay, interesting message. Let me see what else. Okay. What's happening with work, career, money this year? Okay, let's have a look at that. I want to use a different tarot deck. I don't want to use that one again. Just have a look here which ones I can use, or which one I can use. So many different ones. Oh yeah. What's this one? I've got so many decks here, and sometimes when I want to find the one that I'm after, it's not showing itself. I might try this one. This is the, oh god, I can't remember the name of it. It's a new one. I like it. So what's happening with money and career this year? Well, we know you're progressing in career. You're absolutely progressing in your career this year. This one's poking out. Two of Wands. Yeah, opportunities. Having the courage and planning to go forward with new work opportunities. It's fire energy. So it's saying you're ready to embark on new things this year in your career. So that's good. Let's see what else. Career and money. Oh, Knight of Cups. That's interesting. So this could be somebody at work that feels positively inclined towards you. I feel that can help you in some way, or support you, or, you know, has your back in some way. I'm getting that. Let's see what else, Samar. New beginnings. Oh, you got new beginnings in the Lovers. Huh. I wonder why that's come up with career, unless you're going to meet someone somehow connected to work. Not sure. That's really I'm going to use a different deck to clarify that. Let me see what they're talking about here, because we're asking about money. It does have a new beginning here, so that would make sense with career. Oh, I see what it is. It's okay, it's about decisions. Yeah, sorry, it's about decisions, because the Lovers, it can mean decisions as well with the Fool. It's Aquarius energy. It's Gemini. Aquarius is change and a new beginning, and it's taking a risk to go forward in something with your career, and making the decision to take that risk to go forward in your career in some way will pay off. That's what I'm seeing. Let's get one more card. Different deck here. Tower, change. Tower doesn't necessarily mean bad stuff. It can mean someone leaves suddenly. Let's see what's happening. Work and career and money for Samar. Work, career, money for Samar. Oh my gosh, the lovers again. Whoa. So it looks like someone could leave the workplace, or there's a change in the workplace, like a restructuring or something like that, which is leading to new decisions, which is going to be positive for you. So I'm hearing yes, like take the opportunity. But, you know, I say that it's important for you to trust your own intuition, of course, always, you know, when you're making decisions. But I have to say, you know, because you've got Jupiter in your 10th house, whatever opportunity comes your way this year, it is going to be positive for you. You know, there's no doubt about it, because Jupiter brings the opportunities for you, and it brings growth, and it's not a time to stay stuck or stagnant in anything career related. Absolutely not. So yeah, just trust in that, I would say. I'm just looking for another deck to use. Let's see. Oh, this is, yeah, is that it? No, that's not the one. Sorry, one second. What have I got here? I wanted to ask one more about money. Okay, I'll use this. This is the Gaian Tarot. Anything about finances, please, for Samar? Anything about finances? There is extra money coming. I do feel that. Through your career, through your opportunities. Whoa. Oh, wow. Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. The Fool flipped out. I'll just get those two again. So yeah, look, there's a new financial opportunity. Elder of Earth. Earth is Pentacles. So this is like the Queen of Pentacles and the Fool. Look at that. She's embarking on a new journey. That's a pretty cool card with the fox there to guide her. So the Fool is always, oh, it's a secret in this deck, but the Fool is always saying to you, yes, you can do this. There's an element of feeling like maybe it's a risk, or like you're wondering to yourself, is this going to pay off? But absolutely, with Jupiter in the 10th house this year and Jupiter conjunct midheaven, it is going to pay off. And the Elder of Earth confirms that. She's got money. You know, she's the Queen of Pentacles. She's stable financially. So financially, it's a stable year for you, okay? So that's good to know. All right, I'm going to put that deck back. Sometimes I just like to use different decks to see, you know, what different messages come up. We're going for time, okay. All right, Samar, let's go to the next one. Okay, what's happening this year with love and romance? Ooh, let's have a look at that question. Where's that deck that I wanted to use? Oh, here it is. The Crystal Visions Tarot. Okay, love and romance relationships for Samar. What is the energy around that? Imagine if you get the Fool and the Lovers again. That would be so spooky. Anyway, we'll see what comes up. I'm hoping for some jumping cards. Samar. Ooh, one jumped out. Oh, feeling left out in the cold. So it's the mum with her daughter. Oh. So the Five of Pentacles is like feeling a little bit dejected or feeling like you're not meeting anyone. But let's see if anything comes after that. Love and relationships for Samar. Ooh, a new opportunity. Oh, it's stuck to something. What's that other one? The Page of Wands. Okay. There's a few other cards that turned, but there was too many. I am going to get more, though, in a second. So, okay. So this is about you getting more confident, I feel. And it could actually be something to do with your career stuff. But I feel like it's in general. It might be to do with health, well-being. It's like boosting your physical confidence is going to help you to come out of this feeling of dejection or not feeling good about yourself in some way. So I did see a lot of like health transits this year, a lot of like working on your health. So it could be related to that, I feel, because this is a very physical, it's a very earthy energy and it's like a new beginning. I'm getting psychically, this is a physical thing as well. It's not just, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles is fantastic for money, but we're asking about relationships. So this is saying once you're boosting your confidence, you are going to have something this year that begins with the Ace of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands shows someone interested in you. So there is going to be a love interest around you this year. I just don't know if, and you know, I always say I can't see everything, because I see more commitment down the track from 2027, 2028. You have like a little bit of like, a little bit of unstable energies this year around relationships. It's not super bad. It's just a little bit up in the air, or maybe could be dating energy. Could be someone who sort of comes and goes, or, and I know you're not really into that, but it just could be for a reason. Maybe they've got things going on in their life that's, you know, difficult, so they can't fully commit this year. Let's see what else. It's better if it takes time anyway. A man that rushes you to commit, it's usually not a good thing. Samar, love and relationships. 2026, well, the next 12 months. Samar, love, the next 12 months. Please show me accurate messages. What does Samar need to know? Ooh, oh my gosh, you got the Empress. Wowzers. Okay, so yeah, there is someone that you could meet this year that you feel a connection with, but that doesn't guarantee a relationship. Okay, it just means that you can, I feel you feeling really like in touch with your sensuality, you know, this year. Like it's like this energy is coming on, and she's pregnant here, which is just symbolic of like a rebirth energy. And this is with Ace of Pentacles, similar. So you're coming out of this feeling of not feeling happy and feeling stuck in a feeling of dejection or things not working out and feeling sad about it. You're coming out of that with these energies. These are very positive cards. Very, very positive cards. You're coming out of that Hanged Man energy that came up from the beginning as well. That is also feeling like you could meet someone where there is this chemistry there, and it's like it feels, there's a loving feeling here. So that's nice. Okay, so stay open to that. Look, you know, it is definitely hinting at possibilities this year, but I want to say it doesn't show me commitment, even though the Ace of Pentacles has the potential to be that in the future. Okay, so I would say, you know, The times that would be better to meet someone would be not when you have Chiron conjunct Mars, I would say, because that can make you feel quite vulnerable. All right, what area of your life is lucky for you this year? Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to do the Astro cards again. And I'm going to do the Fortune Oracle. Where are we at? Fortune Oracle. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a different astrology deck just to make it more interesting, because I have this one here that's also got astrological themes in it as well. So we'll do that deck. Oh my gosh, I've got decks everywhere. There was another one that I saw. Oh yeah, the Fortune Oracle. So what's lucky for Samar this year? All right, and don't forget too that you do have Saturn in your 5th house this year. So, you know, Saturn in the 5th house, it does sometimes create some restrictions around love. Next year, Saturn will be out of your 5th house. It'll be in your 6th house. So yeah, you'll get, you know, sometimes Saturn in the 5th can sort of block things. Not always fully block, as it moves out slowly of the 5th house, which it does creep to the edge of the 5th house this year. You may feel it freeing up the energy, but it's probably been blocking you the last 18 months. There's too many cards here. I need to reshuffle and refocus. Just make sure they're the right way up. Yep. Okay. Oh my gosh. Aries. That just, okay, that really jumped out and got my attention. So what's lucky for you this year? Okay, that's interesting because it's the 1st house is Aries, and this is number 13. 3 and 1 is 4. It's about stability. You had before, when I think there was a 1 that is like your path came up on the Astro, guys. This is 1 energy, the 1st house, okay? So this is saying your focus on yourself. 1st house is physical body. It's your ambition, your goals, where you're headed in your life. This is something that's lucky for you this year, okay? So that's really strong. Your will, your free will and your will. So what you apply your will to, if you go for it in the career area when you feel, you know, the energy is strong, like when you have Jupiter midheaven transit coming up, and then when Jupiter goes into your 10th house, all that kind of thing. So let's see what else is lucky for you, Samar. Lunar eclipse change. Wow. Okay. So 43. A 7. Ooh, so lunar eclipse change. Let me have a look at when the lunar eclipses are again so I can tell you or remind you. So, because the solar one was Aquarius, that's in February. Lunar eclipses, the first one's on the 12th, sorry, on March 3rd. That's in Virgo. And the last one of the year is in August, on August 28th in Pisces. Let me check with your chart again, because they're saying this is lucky for you in some way. It's like maybe something that happens, and may or may not be lucky in what happens, but then what happens after that is luck in some way. That's what I'm getting. So it's a bit contradictory in a way, but it's not, if that makes sense. You know how sometimes in life something happens that you didn't sort of really want to happen, but then you're like, wow, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have been in this situation, that my life is better now in some sense. So Virgo, let's try it. I need to find your chart. Where is it? Here we go. So you've got Virgo in your 10th and 11th houses. So 10th house of career, 11th house, but it's actually 10th house because of the degree. So this lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd could be referring to that. Something, letting go of something in the career area, which could see you go into something better, okay? So the second and last lunar eclipse, like I said, is August 28th. That's on 4 of Pisces. That's in your 5th house of romance, children, romance, children, what else? Creativity, self-expression. So yeah, I wonder which one it is. I want to say it's more the Virgo one in March is what I'm getting. Okay, so let's get a card from the Fortune Oracle. Is there anything that's lucky for Samar this year? These cards are very mixed, so we'll see what pops out. And what's lucky for Samar in the next 12 months? Ooh. Oh, wow. Look at that. Unity. A time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. There's definitely something going on romantically. It's come up a couple of times now. And, wow, 4 and 3. Oh, that's weird. No way. Look at that. 43 and 34. what are they called? Palindrome numbers, when they're like a mirror of each other. That's very spooky. So some kind of change that I was talking about with one of the eclipses, either in March or August, that's happening in your life is somehow going to lead to you meeting someone. Look at that beautiful card. It's gorgeous. And there might be something about the numbers 3 and 4, 43, 34, because of the fact that they've come up here like this is really eerie. But this is a beautiful card. So there's some kind of renewal, peace, hope, and attracting great love. So you could meet someone this year that's more important down the track, you know, in your life. But maybe when you meet them, they're not quite ready yet, or something like that. This is really interesting. Okay. Or maybe you meet someone that it could be temporary, but there's something beautiful in the connection. There's something for you to learn from it. Because like I said, your chart doesn't show like major commitment this year. I mean, there could be potential for a feeling of potential commitment, but whether it manifests in the next 12 months or not, that's another question. That is, I have reservations around whether it will manifest, you know, in the next 12 months as commitment. I feel like the commitment energy, like I said, it's more 2027 onwards is what I get. Where are we at with the questions? So, oh yeah, that was lucky for you. So love is lucky. What are your angels helping you with this year, and spirit guide advice? Okay. Let me get the angel cards out. I'm going to get the Aura Angel Oracle. Something just jumped. Gold, Uriel, passion, epiphany, entrepreneur driven. The gold energy really straight away reminds me of the Leo energy, because Leo is the color, you know, of the sun, like golden energy. This is absolutely to do with your career. I am hearing it's time. Oh, look at this. It's got a number 10 on it, 10th house in astrology. That's your midheaven. That's your Leo and Virgo, but mostly Leo because it's the midheaven part of the chart. So your angels are saying, we are helping you with your career this year, and there's meant to be progress this year. Trust in that progress. Let's see what else, Samar. Reality check, assessment, exploration, honesty, determination. Yeah. So they are saying at the same time, yes, you're going to achieve great things in your career this year, or something significant, and in your outer life as well, potentially, but there is hard work around it. That's what I'm getting, because the reality check is like, you know, the angel's saying, okay, it's not all easy. You do have to focus. You do have to focus. You do have to like make sure that you are obviously putting the work in and all that sort of stuff. Okay, let's look at some advice from the spirit guides as the last message. Oops, sorry. Okay, what do the spirit guides want Samar to know for the next 12 months? What does Samar need to know? Solitude and celebration. That reminds me of before, when you had the 5 of Pentacles, which was like this being left out in the cold with the woman and the child in the snow. It's like a time of solitude or feeling alone is coming to an end. You have celebration. This is a very social. Joy guides, 37. 7 and 3, that's 1. New beginnings. Wow. So you're coming out of this solitude energy, this like hermit energy, and you're going more into personal empowerment, enjoyment, and joy in your life. That's really nice. So that's a very reassuring message from your guides. There may be times when you still, you know, you want your solitude, and that's all good, but you're going to have more social opportunities this year, and it feels like more is coming to you around getting out there, connecting with people, but in a way that feels really right for you. It doesn't feel like you're forcing yourself with it. It feels like it's happening naturally. That's what I'm getting. So that's what your guides want you to know. I feel like with this card, the solitude and higher self, it's almost like, I don't know if you've been thinking this lately or if you've yet to think this, but it's a feeling of like, I've got to get out more. I've got to live my life more. Something like that. And this is saying absolutely, and you will. Powerful. And there's nothing wrong with that. You've had to be through that phase. You know, you've had to go through that for whatever reason. And that's really interesting, because that picks up with your progressed moon changing signs, coming out of Cancer, which is like being in your little shell, being all like protected and like, you know, it's almost like she's in a womb there, to Leo energy, which is much more expressive, outgoing, you know, wanting to have fun, wanting to enjoy your life. Wow. So when your progressive moon moves into Leo, that's probably when this is going to start to spark. Let me just check when that was again, if I can find it quickly. Progressive moon, where are you? Can I find it? You get the midheaven activations in the career in August, so that's good. You also get some good ones in November. I'm just looking for the progressive moon changing signs. Why can I not see that? That's really frustrating. Oh, here we go. February 7th, progressive moon changes signs. So early in the year. That's fantastic. So I love that the guides have mentioned that. It's early in the year. Okay, so it's in February. So there's that shift. And look, you may not feel it all straight away. You've got 2.5 years of progressive moon in Leo to enjoy your life more, to come out of your shell of you being in that Cancerian energy of keeping, you know, everything under control in the home life, the family, you know, those closest to you, your daughter, that feeling of security and just protection and self-protection. You're going to be more, you're still going to have that energy, but it's going to be different. You're going to be more wanting to socialize, wanting to connect with people, wanting to bounce off people's energy, wanting to socialize, wanting to have fun. That's the biggest thing. And wanting to indulge in whatever makes it, you know, your life feel more interesting and exciting in a passionate, fiery Leo way. So it's really good. All right, love it. Okay, well, I hope you have an amazing 12 months. Thank you so much, Samar. Take care. Thanks again. Bye.